in America, the poorest person that we have here has a smartphone. I mean, barring the people that are homeless and the rest, but your poorest person living in Section 8 housing has a smartphone, has technology, has access to the internet via a library or such. We have it so great here. And the reason why libertarians talk so negatively is because we see this country and the communities going down the path that leads to the Soviet Union, to Venezuela, to Afghanistan, to Mexico and Mexico City and all the cartels. We see these issues from all of history and we go, please, let us not go the way of the Roman Empire. Okay. And I would rather it be secession all around the Eric July thing, but we have the possibility of all of us coming together and being good to one another. And that's really what we can do if we stop with the partisan bickering and we start talking about the issues without the vitriol and the hatred.
Right.
If I punch you in the mouth, you are not going to want to listen to the next thing I say. You're going to be swinging next. So it makes no sense to be hitting each other verbally over these things. Let's talk about it. Let's create a conversation. Let's be positive about it. And when it's all said and done, we're all passionate about what we believe in, but let's be open-minded to new data and new ideas.
I was having a conversation at the bar the other day, the Kava bar the other day, not the bar, but I said that the greatest lie that we have told everybody is that you cannot discuss religion and politics out in public because that has made it taboo. Now you're defending yourself, like you're defending your core belief system, and when somebody attacks it, you feel as though they are attacking you. You need to be able to have these conversations out in public. You need to be able to talk about these things in public without insulting the person in front of, like, if I am having a conversation with you and something we disagree on, which isn't going to be much, but like you and I are, I mean, it's just not.
Right.
But if we're having a conversation about something that you and I disagree on, if I come at you and I'm like, oh my God, you're fucking retarded for believing that, immediately you're going to want to come back and hit me back harder. And that is where the issue lies. You need to be able to have calm, regular discussions like you're discussing your favorite movies. And this is going to be for every dude out there who calls themselves an incel. The greatest pickup line in the entire world. This has 100% success rate for me. I will say I haven't tried it often, but it's got 100% success rate because it takes a lot of guts to do it. If you walk up to a girl and you ask her, do you want to go home with me? Lead with it. Do you want to go home with me? But you have to make it sound like you're offering her a piece of gum. She will look at you. At first, she'll be shocked that you have the guts to do it. And then she'll probably say yes, or I don't know, let's find out. 100% success rate. That is how we need to have conversations about politics in bars. You can't come at it like, oh, I'm going to attack this guy. You're not Ben Shapiro trying to destroy the libs. You're not the BBC trying to destroy Ben Shapiro. You are two people at a bar trying to have a conversation in order to figure out what the other person truly believes.
Yep. Well, if you treat each other with a baseline of respect, you can get a lot further. I have friends that still vehemently disagree with me.
Right.
And I hold my ground and I try to stay respectful. It's really hard to do. I'm not saying that I'm good at it. I'm not saying that if you look at yesterday when I was talking about the Fourth Amendment with different people, that I didn't go, you're an insane moron that you do this. It's easy to slip up because it's human nature that whenever you find adversity, as Larry Sharp always puts it, you hit it with a stick.
Right.
It's really easy to fall into those negative moments. You need to try and do the best you can to fight with positivity and ideas rather than with fists and insults. And if you can get that down, one, you'd be a better person than me, and two, you'd be a much better communicator than anyone standing on a debate stage coming in this next election. You would be far. What we sound like whenever we're shouting at each other is Donald Trump going wrong and Hillary Clinton fainting on stage. We all look ridiculous when we're shouting at each other. But if we actually come at people with respect and we keep I say radical stuff. I'm a radical libertarian. I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I believe wholeheartedly that government is inherently evil. And I will tell anybody that will listen about it. And I lead with, and people will tell me on the radio, don't ever tell people that you're an anarchist. And I say, why? And politics is a dirty word, is a dirty profession. It doesn't need to be a dirty word.
Right.
We should be able to have these conversations. And just because I'm different and just because you've heard things doesn't mean that you should have this negative connotation. So my plan is, as I'm telling people I'm an anarchist and all these things, what I'm doing is I'm breaking that mold. I'm breaking that idea. And as you're nice to these people, they hear anarchist and they think of you. When they hear anarchist, they first think of things on fire. But when you introduce yourself as an anarchist and you be positive and you're nice and you're persistent on your ideas, but with a respectful connotation towards theirs, they will then associate anarchy with how you act. And when you tell them that my version of anarchy is being like I am, kind, I work with people, I trade with people, blah, 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 people wouldn't know I'm an anarchist. People don't know I'm a Christian because it's a personal thing for me. But I will tell them openly I am both of these because I want them to associate those words with what I'm bringing to the table, not what somebody else told them about it.
Right.
And you can break that mold, each and every one of us. If we just have a conversation with one person a day, you might be able to inspire, and anybody could do it, the next Ron Paul, which thank God that he's still alive. And I hope we find another really soon. Because he's 80-something years old, and we're getting to that era where who's going to fill that void? Well, we all need to fill that void. We all need to sit there and say these are things we believe in so much that we are willing to be shunned initially, said crazy things about us later, and then be loved by generations to come. And it could just be two people that you're affecting, or it could be 100 or 1,000. You never know who you could be talking to.